guys, it's Corie with Indigo Salon and Wellness. I know typically Megan and Heather do the videos, but I wanted to do a little guest spot to highlight our line Rituel De Fille. It's a handmade cosmetic line out of Los Angeles. It's made by three sisters and it is entirely cruelty-free, which you know is very important to us here at Indigo. I'm really excited to use them and show you this look right here, and then also how to do winged liner. I know that can be a challenge for a lot of people, so wanted to give you my tips and tricks. I get asked a lot how I do it, and it's actually a lot easier than it looks. So that's what I'm going to be showing you today, so stay tuned to see all that. So we're going to dive right in. One of the cool things about their pigments is that no matter whether it's the lipstick, the highlighter, any of their things can be used all over the face. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. You'll see me using lipsticks as my crease colors, that kind of thing. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do an eye look. I get a lot of questions specifically about how I do my winged liner, and it's not as hard as it looks. So I wanted to teach you all how to do that and maybe make it a little less intimidating. So we'll go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to start with today is I'm going to use this. This is the Glow Primer. It is a full face primer, so you can put it on before your foundation, but I'm going to use it specifically on my eyes today just to make that shadow kind of pop. So the big thing with Glow, if you all have not used Glow before, is a little bit goes a long, long way. So you can kind of see how much I'm using right there. And since I am doing a smaller area, I am just doing, my lids. So I don't need that much anyway. So I am using a brush for this. So we fell in love with Rituel De Fille pretty early on. They do kind of have that fantastic witchy vibe that we love so much. And they have fun names, things like Oracle, and so what I have on my lips today is actually Rituel De Fille as well. And I used a combination of, let's see, this is Prey and Oracle. So you can kind of see that Prey is our most popular color, so it's a little bit lower, but you can kind of see they're a brown and a pink base. Putting just Prey on me, I have a lot of pink in my skin, so it kind of gives it a funny look, but combining the two of them gives it that perfect nude color. If you're using creams, you want to use a nice flat, compact brush like that versus a more typical eyeshadow powder brush that is a lot fluffier. So this is going to help it really apply where you want, because of course cream, you do have to blend a little bit more with intention. I am using, and please forgive me because I may butcher this, Anthillion. So that is their, sorry about that, that is their gold highlighter, and it's pretty addicting. It's got a really fantastic pigmented look. So the areas that I want to put that are going to be right here under my brow, and then right here, right through the most prominent part of the lid, because then when I open, this is highlighted, and then this underneath here is highlighted. You can see how much more that opens this eye than this eye. The second color that I'm going to be using is their pink highlighter. So this is Phosphine. So, and it has more of a pink hue to it, if you guys can see that. So I'm going to do that right through the middle. So I've applied the lightest color to the places that I want to highlight, right under the brow and then right through there. So I'm going to start this. I do a 2-layer crease. So I'm going to go in and kind of do the same places that I would do a crease. And I'm going to bring it through here. So now I am going to use a little bit of this Prey that I told you all is really popular. It's our most popular lip color here at Indigo. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and use that for a crease color as well. Again, with creams, I really like to build on it so that it gives it a lot of depth. So and I'm just kind of putting that on the back of my hand. You can see that. Now I will say with creams, I do like to kind of blend with my hands because I think that it gives you a little more control. So I kind of place it where I want it and then go in circles. Kind of blend that out. You can see how soft that is. The nice thing about creams is they go exactly where you put them. They don't move like powder, so you don't have to deal with fallout or, so for instance, my eyes are very big and round, and thankfully, anytime I get powder underneath them, it looks like it's cast its own shadow because they're big enough to do that. So it kind of stops from giving that under eye bag that sometimes I can get even with the best powders. So that's really nice as well. So now I'm going to go into the very dramatic crease color. So this is Chrysalis. One of the cool things about Rituel De Fille is that they have a lot of really fun colors. So this is a gorgeous green, which as you can see, I have green eyes, so I really want those to pop. So I've got that brush nice and loaded up. So I'm not going to go as far in. Again, this looks crazy, but once we go to blend it out, it's going to look a lot softer. It's going to give it a much nicer look. So we can see a big difference from here to here, for sure. And that blending is important. I always like to say that blending is the difference between a drag queen and a Kardashian. If you look at their contour and highlight placement, if you've ever watched RuPaul's Drag Race or anything like that, they're actually not that different, but the Kardashians blend it until it's perfect. All right, so we can kind of see that green and how that's bringing out the green in my eyes, but it's not too much, certainly not working with the crazy dark that we had before. So, but if you want to give it a little bit of drama, we can definitely do that by going in and doing it along the bottom lash line. So because my eyes are so big, I don't like to wear mascara or lower liner because it does tend to make them look a little bit bigger, and I like to minimize that just a little bit. So using an angled brush, if you can see that, I'm going to go in. So you all can see how much greener my eyes look just from that. So now on to the main event. I'm going to use the liquid liner. So we're using Styla. This is my personal favorite. Wings are something that I have been wearing for a very long time, and they take practice, but they are not impossible to do. I have a lot of people that want to learn how to do them, so I'm going to show you how I do it. Some people go from the inner corner and flick out. I envy those people because that is not something that I can do, and trust me, I've tried. So what I actually like to do, so this is a felt tip, so you can see how fine that point is. So that is perfect. It's the exact shape that you need for a liner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. I'm actually going to lay here and create a shape. I'm going to create a line, and then I'll go back in and connect it so that you guys can kind of see what that looks like. So that right there is where the magic is. If you can create that one straight line, the rest of it is cake. But if you mess up, the nice thing is, if you leave this point alone, if you get that point in there, all you have to do is go a little bit below it and connect it. If you touch that point, and you kind of saw me do that, it creates multiple lines, whereas we want that to be one line. You can just go back in a little above it and then connect it again. So even if you mess up immediately, it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. So all right, so looking at it, I can see that this one is a little bit thicker than this one, so you never want to go on top. You always want to go back towards the bottom and then connect it to that outer corner. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And again, leaving that tip alone and just kind of creating it from here. And there we go. So there we go, guys. Hope you enjoyed a little bit about Rituel De Fille, and you can kind of see how this eye was created. And of course, if you want a little bit more drama, you just do less blending. So I like my stuff pretty blended, and I like that Rituel gives us the freedom to kind of do that. So whatever degree of drama we want. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and look forward to seeing you next time.